Hi, this is Rachel Israel with STEM News and Global World Report. We have breaking news that will have a huge impact on the global scene in the very near future. Let's take a look at what's going on around the world.
Panic at the bank, accounts shut down without warning. Across America, people are waking up to a nightmare. Their bank accounts are closed. No warning, no explanation, just locked out of their own money. This isn't some dystopian movie plot, it's happening right now. From small businesses to everyday folks, the reports are flooding in. Accounts frozen, transactions blocked, life savings held hostage by faceless institutions. The financial panic is palpable. Is nothing sacred? Is nowhere safe? The fear is understandable. Our money is the lifeblood of our existence. It's rent, it's food, it's security. When that security is ripped away without warning, it's deeply unsettling. The big question everyone's asking is simple. Why? Why are banks suddenly slamming their doors on customers, leaving them stranded and terrified? The answers, as always, are complex and politically charged. Trump cries, "Foul, are banks targeting conservatives?" Former President Donald Trump wasted no time jumping into the fray. In a fiery speech, he accused major banks, specifically naming Bank of America and JPMorgan Chase, of waging a financial war on conservatives. Trump claimed these institutions were deliberately shutting down accounts of anyone who dared to challenge the liberal agenda. His words predictably ignited a firestorm. Banks, of course, deny any political motivation. They maintain that account closures are purely based on regulatory compliance and risk assessment. But for many on the right, Trump's accusations ring true. They see a pattern of conservative voices being silenced, not just in the digital public square but now in the financial realm. The question becomes, are banks truly apolitical actors simply following the rules, or are they wielding their immense power to stifle dissent and punish those who don't toe the line? Woke capitalism or regulatory maze? The battle lines are drawn. The current banking crisis has become yet another battleground in the ongoing culture war. Republicans point to what they call woke capitalism, a phenomenon where corporations driven by a progressive agenda allegedly discriminate against conservative viewpoints and businesses. They argue that banks are weaponizing their services, denying access to financial systems to punish those they deem ideologically unsound. Democrats, on the other hand, see this as a diversion tactic, a way to deflect from the real issue, the need for stronger financial regulations to prevent money laundering and other illicit activities. They argue that banks are simply trying to comply with complex and often ambiguous federal guidelines. Caught in the middle are ordinary Americans, their lives upended by closed accounts, caught in a political tug-of-war that seems impossible to escape. Section 4. Dimon speaks out. JPMorgan Chase CEO calls for clarity amidst chaos. In a surprising turn of events, JPMorgan Chase CEO Jamie Dimon, often seen as a villain in this narrative by the right, publicly acknowledged the growing concerns. While denying any political bias, Dimon admitted that banks are grappling with unclear federal regulations, particularly in areas like anti-money laundering and terrorist financing. He argued that the fear of massive fines and legal repercussions is driving banks to err on the side of caution, even if it means closing accounts that might be perfectly legitimate. Dimon's comments, while welcomed by some, did little to quell the rising tide of anger and distrust. Many saw it as a convenient excuse, a way for banks to shirk responsibility for their actions. The debate rages on. Is it truly regulatory confusion, or is it a calculated strategy to silence dissenting voices? The answer, as with most things in life, is likely somewhere in between. Section 5. Protecting your money. Practical steps in an uncertain banking landscape. So where does this leave us, the average folks caught in the crossfire? The reality is, the banking system, once a symbol of stability, now feels increasingly precarious. But while the situation is concerning, there are steps you can take to protect yourself. Don't panic, do your research. Knowledge is power, especially when it comes to your money. First and foremost, make sure your chosen bank is FDIC insured. This government guarantee protects your deposits up to $250,000, providing a safety net in case of bank failure. Consider diversifying your funds across multiple institutions. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Explore alternative banking options like credit unions, which are often less driven by profit and more focused on serving their members. And finally, stay informed. Pay attention to the news, follow financial blogs, and educate yourself on your rights as a consumer. We may not be able to control the actions of powerful institutions, but we can control how we respond, how we protect ourselves, and how we navigate this increasingly complex financial landscape.
I'm diving into the chaos of Trump's shocking bank shutdown to see if my money is safe. Let's find out together. The recent bank shutdown linked to Trump is a critical issue that everyone needs to understand, because it affects each and every one of us. Whether you're a seasoned investor or just starting out, this shutdown raises serious questions about the safety of our money and the stability of our financial system. The implications of the bank shutdown are far-reaching and potentially devastating. One of the most obvious concerns is financial instability. When a major bank goes under, it can have a ripple effect throughout the entire economy. People's savings and investments are at risk, and even those who aren't directly affected by the shutdown could see their financial security threatened. Another implication is the potential loss of confidence in the banking system as a whole. If people start to lose faith in banks, it could lead to a wave of withdrawals, further exacerbating the problem. This lack of confidence could also have a knock-on effect on the entire financial market. Imagine if people started to question the safety of their money in banks, and turned instead to alternative investments like cryptocurrencies or precious metals. It could lead to a significant shift in the way we think about money and banking, and that's a recipe for disaster. Furthermore, this shutdown could have serious consequences for businesses and individuals who rely on the bank for loans and credit. Without access to these essential financial tools, many companies could be forced to close their doors, leading to widespread job losses and economic downturn. The bank shutdown also raises important questions about the role of government regulation in preventing such failures. If Trump's influence contributed to the shutdown, does that mean our regulatory bodies are failing to do their job? Should we be relying on the government to step in and bail out failing banks, or should we be taking matters into our own hands and taking more control over our financial lives? Delving deeper into the reasons behind the bank's closure, it's clear that Trump's influence played a significant role. His policies and actions have been criticized for being reckless and unpredictable, and it's no surprise that they've had far-reaching consequences for the banking industry. But Trump's influence is just one part of the story. There are broader economic factors at play here too. The current economic climate is precarious, with rising interest rates, trade wars, and global uncertainty all contributing to a perfect storm of financial instability. One of the most worrying aspects of this situation is the lack of transparency and accountability. It's unclear exactly what went wrong, and who is responsible for the bank's failure. Was it a result of Trump's policies, or was it simply a case of poor management? Without clear answers, it's impossible to know how to move forward and prevent similar failures in the future. Furthermore, the bank's closure has sparked concerns about the wider economic implications of Trump's actions. If one bank can be brought down so easily, what's to say others won't follow suit? The most significant insight or shocking detail to come out of this situation is the sheer scale of the potential consequences. This isn't just a local issue, it has the potential to affect people all around the world. If the banking system is no longer trustworthy, what's to stop people from losing faith in the entire financial system? It's a scary thought, and one that should be at the forefront of our minds as we move forward. The fact that Trump's influence has contributed to this situation is a stark reminder of the importance of holding those in power accountable for their actions. In conclusion, the recent bank shutdown linked to Trump is a critical issue that demands our attention. It's essential that we stay informed about financial security in light of recent events, and that we hold those in power accountable for their actions. We owe it to ourselves to take control of our financial lives and to demand more from our leaders. What are your thoughts on the bank shutdown? Do you think Trump's influence was a major contributing factor, or was it simply a case of bad luck? Let me know in the comments below, and if you want to learn more about financial safety tips, be sure to check out my next video.
Well, that's the news for tonight. Thank you so much for continually supporting our content. If you did enjoy this video, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe and turn on the notification bell, and share this with your friends and family. I'm sure they would find it interesting as well. We're very excited to continue this journey with you. We thank you all for bringing certain stories to our attention, and for continually keeping us updated with certain events around the world.